Hey, you're on Study Abroad. Today, let's start with some questions. What are the three states of matter? Any guesses? Yes, gas, solids, and liquids. These stages are applied to all types of matter in the known universe. Second question. Is the Earth's axis really tilted to a fixed position? Also, is the Earth's orbit really only elliptical? Let's find out all of these questions through a topic known as the ice ages and the Manokovich cycles. So let's begin. Just a warning, Manokovich cycles can be little difficult to understand, but I will try my best to explain you as easy as possible. So, let's begin with a question. What is basically ice ages? Any guesses? Ice ages are time periods which have some degrees less than usual. These ages happen in hundreds of thousands of years. Here you might think, why does these ages start? Actually, there are many factors that affect our Earth's climate. Of course, science. But before that, please subscribe and like as it keeps me happy. Wonder your one subscribe will cause this in my mind.
Happy, happy, happy. Happy, 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 happy.
Let's just come back to our topic. Our first reason might be the axial tilt of our Earth. What do you think? Does our axial tilt is fixed to 35.5 degrees? Not really. Our axial tilt changes in around 14,000 years between 22 degrees to 25 degrees. In fact, our present axis tilt is not 23.5 degrees but 23.4 degrees. Just see this graph. According to this, axial tilt changes and due to this seasons changes, but at a very small level. But these changes can't just cause an major ice age which can cover Earth. Then what might be the reason? Earth's orbit? Why not? Earth's orbit is elliptical, but still it's not at all stable. In fact, Earth's orbit changes in a time period between 1 to 4 lakh years in circular and once again elliptical orbit. Just see this graph. Here you can see if we take records of the Earth's 10 lakh years, we can see a pattern. This pattern shows the changes between circular to elliptical to again circular. Also, we can see the extremicity if we see it at a micro level, because not only Sun but Saturn and Jupiter influence the Earth's orbit. So, after 1 lakh years, Earth is far away than usual, giving us a smaller ice ages. But every 4 lakh years, this is at its extreme, giving us a bigger and more impactful ice age. But still, one more thing is there, which affects the ice age periods. which is known as precession. This tells us our Earth's axis is unstable. Actually, a Greek philosopher, Hipparchus, was observing the North Pole star, which was at that time Polaris. After some years, when he checked it once again, it was not there, but it was shifted. So, just see this precession index graph. Here, in the time period of 23,000 years, you can see Earth's North Pole, which creates an imaginary circle around it. This circle points on different stars at the night sky depending on the time period. And thanks to Earth's moon. Say why? Because just imagine you are carrying something on one side of your hand. Does that make you shook at that side? Yes, it makes you shook at that side. Just apply this to Earth's orbit. Here, Earth is carrying the moon's tremendous mass and weight. Due to this, it starts to spin like a top. Is that fascinating? Due to this, seasons are stable or unstable. When we combine all of these factors, we get ice ages. Just another question. While a small star age starts, why does North Pole gets affected more than the South Pole? Reason is quite simple. The northern area has a lot of land and South Pole is majorly made up of water. Lands has less heat capacity to store than water. So that means land can easily freeze than water. That's why coastal areas in north freeze much easily. Just notice in winters, North Pole's ice grows more than South Pole. One more factor which caused an ice age to start: active volcanoes. Active volcanoes are also one of these reasons why ice age happens. During dinosaurs, when the asteroids crashed Earth, volcanic eruptions occurred. Due to this, the entire atmosphere was filled with ashes and some of the most harmful gases of our entire Earth. Being a lot dense, these ashes just easily covered Earth with a blanket of these types of gases. This made the entire planet cool and started to form a major ice age, which lasted from 1 to 3 lakh years. In detail, we will learn them in another video. So, now you know how Manokovich cycles happen and what are the causes. One more thing about this cycle is that carbon dioxide, which is a greenhouse gas, gets trapped in the ice sheets. Due to this, ice ages can't be stopped by heat of the sun. Now you get the point there. That's why ice ages happen So now let's learn about the causes and how does our scientists know that ice ages had happened. So the first one would be effects of ice on rock. Somewhere in the entire world, there are ice sheets at certain places where it shouldn't be. Like some places where there is a lot of hot, but still there is a lot of ice sheets there. These valleys and rocks are present in places very far away from today's polar ice and glaciers. The second one would be the ice. Ice cores are samples of frozen rocks which are deep in the ice and can be analyzed to find different evidences of ice which build up over thousands of years. It is possible to find out the conditions from long ago. For example, ice cores taken from many different places around the world tells us that the earth was colder 20,000 years ago than it's today. The third and the final reason is the animal fossils and skeletons. During the glacier periods, animals tend to move away from the polar regions towards the equator. For example, our last ice age, which gave us life and knowledge, was an example of this. As at that time, Homo sapiens or the ancestors of humans ate carnivores and even beings like themselves. Yes, at that time there were three types of species which were same like humans. Equator, bodies of dead animals that are buried under sediments turn into fossils. The places where we find these fossils tells us where some species of animals moved during the last glacier period or ice age. We have also found preserved skeletons of animals that are not found on earth today because they lived in much colder temperatures. Also, if you want to know more about the species of mustelids, click on this video. And if you want to learn about atoms and the microscopic world, then click here. Oh, wait!